Okay. All right. Hello, dear friends. It's your friend William Sovik here from the William Sovik Grand Finale band, if you will. I hope you're all doing well on this fairly fine Monday in March. I'm sitting here at my in my rehearsal studio at Bunkern in Gothenburg, making this video. And the first thing that I want to say is that I feel incredibly uncomfortable doing this, or not necessarily doing this right now because there's no one here, but actually putting this up for public consumption. I feel quite uncomfortable doing that. But there's a reason for all of this madness. First of all, this seems to be acceptable behavior these days. People are doing this across the globe on the internets, putting up videos and podcasts and the stuff about the most mundane things that you've ever heard of. So I thought that why don't I put up my own video about my mundane things that I do? Because I do, I mean, after all, I actually do have stuff that I want to promote, even if that's, I don't know, that's sort of an ugly word, I suppose, within the field of music where I work. Not necessarily, but yeah, whatever. I wanted to do this because I do have new music coming out with my band, William Sovik Grand Finale, or William Sovik Grand Finale, as I usually say in Swedish. I don't know, I can say that in English too, I guess. William Sovik Grand Finale. And we have new music coming out. We recorded this music. It's the sounds that you hear in the background, by the way. We recorded this music in November last year, and I hope to be able to release this in mid-May. I think I wrote May 17th in some grant application somewhere that we would be releasing it on May 17th. So I'll guess we'll try to do that, and it's I think that's a Friday, I think. Yeah, we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, I suppose. But I'm very, very happy with the music, and that's essentially why I do this, because I'm excited to share this stuff with you eventually, and I'm excited for you all to hear it if you want to. I think the album is slightly different than the ones that we've done earlier. I think it sounds really, really good. And it has quite a roomy sound to it, and I think it's out of the albums that we released earlier, or the studio albums at least, I think this one is the one that has the sort of liveliest sound and feel to it. The previous two albums that we did, the first one Rustik Musik and the second one Major, both of them were quite heavily not edited, but heavily sort of produced, quite heavily mixed. It was quite heavy-handed in the mix. I do love the way that they sound, both of them, and I think that it fits the music really well. I would say that this album is still quite heavy-handed in the mix and master compared to a lot of other like jazz music. But I do love that kind of sound, but I would say that we've tried to keep sort of more of a live and acoustic feel to this, even though it's sort of exaggerated maybe, or cranked up a little bit. And I think it sounds great. It's quite roomy, and it's sort of rough around the edges, and I think that the way that we play the music is also fairly sort of, I feel like we're taking some liberties with the music, which is always my aim, that we should be able to do that. So it feels really good. Even though the music is sort of, it sounds sort of like it usually does, you know, it's fairly composed. parts of it at least, and then it's fairly free parts of it, and it's quite melodic at times, and it's quite rough at other times. Maybe this album is a bit darker actually than the ones that we've done before. Some of the songs are much slower than usual, and yeah, it just has sort of a slightly darker feel to it maybe than the previous ones that we've done. I don't know, really. You'll have to listen for yourself when it comes out, I suppose, and make up your own mind. But this is the way that it sounds. The stuff you hear in the background is the way that the music sounds, and I don't want to give away too much, obviously, yet. Not that it matters, I think, because essentially at the end of the day, this music is not particularly popular, but I will. That's why I'm talking over it too, so that you're not hearing everything as clear as you might do if you listen to it just on a record or something. Whatever. Well, so releasing in mid-May, hopefully, which is quite soon. We're in mid-March right now, and some people would say that is way too soon. I would say that it is not. I have been wanting to release this music for a while now, even though we recorded it quite recently. But I even wanted to record it much earlier, but we haven't been able to, because yeah, people in the band have been on parental leave and stuff, and we haven't been able to make it happen. So at this point, I just want to get it out as quick as I can. And that's really the case with all of the albums that we've done. I just try to release it as quickly as I've been able to after we've actually recorded the music. And it is interesting because I feel like probably the band that I've had the most success with, if you will, that I've been in over all of the years that I've been active as a musician is probably this one, actually. And it's interesting because I've been in so many bands earlier in my life that tried to adhere to all of those principles that you've heard about, or that I've been told at least about, when it comes to releasing music. There are so many like rules and principles that you know, people in the music industry say that you have to adhere to in order to you know, get as much attention as possible. And I've been in a bunch of bands that try to adhere to all of those principles, and the result has always been like, well, for starters, none of those bands exist anymore, and I think that is I mean, one of the reasons for that, I think, is that it wasn't fun releasing music. It just became like a chore, and you had all those boxes that you just needed to check, and there was so much administration, and we would spend so much money sort of hiring external PR consultants and all of those things that were trying to promote the music and you know, create some attention around it. But they had the hardest job in the world because the music itself is not that popular. Again, I mean, of course there are people who are into this kind of music, but there's not a lot of people, and it's certainly, I mean, in Sweden alone there are so many people doing you know, jazz or improvised music that is absolutely incredible. So it's very hard to you know, to come through and to make yourself heard, because there are so many great musicians and composers and people doing their thing. So we just spend so much time and so much money trying to make all of those things happen, and everything just became sort of a chore. And at the end of the day, the bands, they didn't last. We stopped playing because I thought that no one really thought that it was very enjoyable anymore. And I haven't thought about that stuff at all with the Grand Finale band. I've always just released the music however I've wanted to, and I've tried not to think about any of that stuff, like those principles or those rules that people in the industry say that you have to adhere to. And as a result, I don't know why really, but the band still exists, and we've been playing since 2017 now, and this is the 4th album that we're releasing, and I still feel super excited to play with this band. And we've even managed to play a bunch of concerts over the past years and get like a bunch of plays and placements on playlists and stuff like that. And I really think that it has a lot to do with the fact that I am doing this in a way that I hope that will come across as genuine and not, you know, disingenuous. I'm doing this because I want to. I'm doing this video because I want to, even though I do feel uncomfortable doing it. And I am releasing all of the music quickly because I want to. I don't wait for 6 months because I feel like I need to have proper lead times for promotion, and I haven't released any singles thus far because I haven't felt like releasing singles. I haven't done any of that stuff. And again, the result is, or the result becomes that I really enjoy doing this, even like the promotional stuff and the PR things and trying to like create some buzz around the music. Even that feels sort of fun and creative to me, and I like that. And then if it doesn't work, if no one listens to it, that's not the end of the world, because there's not a lot of people listening to it anyways, even when we do have some even when we do get lucky and land like a placement on a playlist or something. Those are mostly just passive listeners anyway. I don't think that any of like the million or so people who've listened to our music on Spotify even knows what you know, our band name, or could name any of our songs. It's probably just been rolling in the background, which is fine too, but and it looks good, I suppose. You can write to like booking people or promoters and stuff that, yeah, we have 1 million plays on Spotify, and it sort of sounds cool, but in reality I think that we all know that that doesn't really, that's not a fair representation of the amount of people who've actually listened to your music. It's just an empty number, although it is it does seem to make a little bit of difference maybe when you communicate about your band. Anyway, I don't know. I wanted to make a bunch of these videos to to tell you about the music, and this first one I guess I just wanted to make as sort of an introduction, just sharing that we do have an album coming out in May, and I will try to do a bunch of more of these videos over the coming months, and maybe some more specific ones too, maybe some videos where I talk more specifically about maybe each of the songs on the album, and then I hope that I can get my fellow bandmates to come in here, and so that I can interview them one by one, so that you might get an understanding of who they are, and I don't know, why they play the way they do, or what their backgrounds are, or what kind of music they like to listen to, or whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, there would be no music without any of those guys. So I feel like I really want to share with you who they are as well. And I might talk about, I don't know, the artwork and some stuff. I might try to talk to the people who recorded and mixed and did all of that stuff as well. We'll see. I don't know really. I just want to keep this quite unscripted. Again, I don't want to be too specific or anal about this, because I do feel like it's I'm trying to keep this as fun as I can for myself, again, just in order to be able to do this, because it does feel so weird doing this and putting this up for public consumption. Anyways, I'm super excited to share this music with you eventually, and I hope that I will see you soon. You can follow the YouTube channel if you want to, and my Instagram as well, and I will be putting up the videos there, I suppose, if you want to you know, see when I have new videos coming out. And I hope that you're having a great day, and have a great week, and I'll see you soon again. Okay, bye now.